We are back on another podcast. I am super, super honored to have Krystal Lee Collazo with Spin City with me today. Yay! All right, so this is going to be a fun podcast. I'm thrilled to talk about Spin City, but I do want to throw out a disclosure. This will be full of tips, advice, suggestions, and maybe some of our opinions built on our experience, our knowledge, our education, our training. We are not doctors, licensed nutritionists, or dietitians, but we love fitness, we love health, we love burning calories, and I love your studio. Every time I go there, you guys are just so much fun and energetic, and there's always like this fun selfie wall and just like so much fun. I just absolutely love it. And I drove by when you guys were painting and getting the whole place set up, and I was just like, I was super drawn to it, and so glad that I listened to my voice and went in there and met you and had so much fun. So come, let's talk about it. Tell us about your studio.
So we opened Spin City June 3rd of this year. It's been kind of a whirlwind of every type of emotion for both of Jared and I, but we came about this journey through Jared's passion for spin. We literally had 3 spin bikes in our home at one point. And I would wake up, it was 5 a.m. I'd wake up, I'd hear him out here just spinning away. And then, we would always go to a studio downtown, and he had this idea. He was like, let's just do it. And I was like, you're crazy. And then here we are, and I am so blessed and grateful to be on this journey with him. I have never been the type to be comfortable in like a gym setting. And so that's what I want to provide for people to come in and feel comfortable coming into our studio and not feel that pressure. Although, spinning is hard, but I feel like it's effective and you can have fun, and 45 minutes goes by in like what feels like a second. So
That's true. It is true. And I go in there, and before we even really got to know each other, you're like, hi, Catherine. And I was like, how do you know my name? And then I got figuring it out, because I always would register online, and we'll drop the link too underneath this video, but I'd register online maybe the day before or whatever. And I'm sure, take a look and see who's coming. And you just run the place so efficiently, and it's just so much fun. And also the cool thing about it is it's also an upper body workout too. Like some of the things that we do with the towel and, holding our arms out, and you're right, the music and, focusing on your movement, your core and all these different things. It's like 45 minutes does go by super fast. And I'll tell you, a lot of times when I work out by myself, I'm just like, I'm going to do a little bit more, and then I stop. But being in a class setting like that, and a fun instructor, it just really kind of pushes you to go a little bit further, go a little bit harder. Although, I've been in spin classes before where it's a lot of people that are crazy serious, and and I feel a little bit like, oh, this is not my people. But that's not the way it is in your studio. I've seen people at all different levels. I know that when I went, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 times in, I posted it in the meetup group, and I'll drop that link down below as well. And a gal came, and it was her first time, and she was super intimidated, but she's like, it was exactly like you said. It was extremely fun, and I didn't feel like I was offbeat or anything, or if I was, it didn't even matter. Nobody cared, right?
No. And that's what I love about this whole adventure is that, people do come in. I always tell them, I say, this is your class, this is your level. And I'm like, I'm going to be up here doing something crazy, but I'm just here to be a guide for you. Like, if you just want to sit and pedal, just sit and pedal. If you feel like standing up, stand up. But, this is your workout. This is your class. And that's, I think, what is important. I want people to know, like, you can be comfortable here. You're everyone's welcome. And it's a good vibe. It's a good feeling. And it's exciting, to see all the different faces that come in and the people I get to meet. Like I met you, and I would have never had this opportunity. And so I feel super grateful.
Yeah. I love that every time I go, it's like different songs, different movements. Every once in a while, one will be a repeat. I'm like, yes, I'm so glad, because it's so much fun, because like I like the one where you hold out your hand or whatever, and we like hold it steady, and it takes concentration and core work. You don't think of riding a bike thinking about your core, but you guys are always reminding people of that. And I'm really big about having a strong core. So I love that you guys educate people in a way that they don't even know that they're being educated. Like, pulling your core, think about your core, and they're like, okay. They don't realize that, what you're teaching them are basics of, really athletics and things that they really need to know, but without really realizing they're exercising. And that's what's cool about this whole studio is, you're getting an incredible workout. You can burn 400 or 500 calories, right?
Right. I think the highest I've gone, someone had told me, I don't track them. I'm going to start tracking my calories, but a client of ours, she burnt 586 calories one time. I feel like that was our highest one. I was like, oh, that's the top number.
You should do a challenge or something. I mean, we have to be cautious because you're going to have some sort of level playing field, maybe a certain device, an Apple Watch or whatever, and something that's really common, and maybe do like a challenge, and I don't know, see who can burn the most calories in 30 days. I don't know, something fun, and like a giveaway or something. And I'd love to throw something in for that too. So
that would be great.
Yeah, we can think of some ideas, get some fun going on. But something that, it'd have to be a device that would track, and maybe it could even be something that, you guys had on eventually. Maybe it was something that, because I'm just going to say it, Orange Theory, they have the devices, but they have them in-house that you can kind of rent or whatever. But if you could do that too, where it could track your calories. I don't know. Brainstorm. We'll think on this. Something fun. Oh my God, I'm always full of ideas.
I don't know how. My brain is like mush most days. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much in here.
You do incredible with your social media. We're going to definitely drop down your Instagram and your Facebook page links on this video, because I love following you on social media. There's always some incredible posts. You guys have great photo ops. And like I said, the selfies after the spin are always fun with the instructors. And your instructors are great. I've seen a few of them. And Jared has I think he did my first class with you guys. I think your second one.
Yeah.
And then you, who else? Who else has been?
Victoria and Jessica. We just hired a new gal. Her name's Jenna. And so she's new to the Spin City family. She used to be an instructor. She went and got her law degree, so she's a lawyer here in town. But she's super fun, super cool. She came with us. She started spinning at Spin City, and I was like, who is this girl? What is she doing? But she's super fun, so I can't wait for everyone to meet her. And Jared's always had a passion for spinning, and I ever since I started, I've loved it. But Jared kind of had to push me to get instructing, which was really hard for me because I'm always so self-conscious, and I'm always thinking, people are, looking at me, or I just have always felt uncomfortable in my own skin. And so I feel like this business, Spin City, has almost like opened this door for me to kind of show a part of myself that I haven't really been able to show. After I had my son, I was like 210 pounds. And so I was super overweight. I was super depressed, and I didn't know how to take care of myself. And so just recently, just being more active just changed my life, and I'm trying to get my nutrition in order, which isn't easy. But, so I'm trying to like break off these pieces of me that have been holding me back. And I've been realizing that the more I show of myself, the more it's helping others. And so I'm so grateful for this opportunity, not just for my own healing and growth, but for the people that are watching and that are looking. And so it's been super, I don't know, it's been empowering for me. And I'm hoping that I can just change one person's life for the better. It's worth it. So I'm out there putting myself on this little ledge, just, which is uncomfortable, and I'm very vulnerable, but I've got nothing but positive feedback from everyone. And so it's super cool.
Yeah, I have to say, those are my favorite posts of yours, the ones that kind of, give us little tidbits of why you're doing what you're doing. And yeah, you're right. It is a little bit vulnerable and it is scary to put yourself out there, but I guarantee you're helping so many more people than what are actually saying anything on your posts. There's a lot of people out there that are probably watching you and not commenting, not liking, and they are shifting their life because you have, and you're showing them that you can do this and that you're strong. And another thing that I see is by having a studio, you're surrounding yourself with all these incredible, amazing people, men and women,
Right.
that are also on their journey, and they all have their struggles. Some of them are not even telling you what those struggles are, but they're there, and they're drawn to you because you're strong and you've prevailed, and that's super, super exciting. And you'll never, a lot of them you'll never know,
Right.
or once in a while you might get this private message that will reveal something, and it'll come at the best possible time. Maybe it's a day that you might be feeling a little bit like off or whatever, and you'll just get this message, and then and I'm excited to hear when that happens, and I know it will, because you're super new at this, and but we're getting you out there, and huge exposure. I do want to say too that I was honored and able to be at your very first class that you instructed, and I would have never known that was your first class. That was so much fun. That was so much fun. I went home and I told my daughter, I was like, oh, that was so much fun. I loved all the songs that you picked, and I'm sure that you really overthought it, and put a lot of heart and soul in it. But yeah, you do incredible, and no judgment at all, other than I was like, oh man, I want to be as good as her, so it's so much fun to watch you guys grow and change. And I don't know, I think you guys are doing an incredible job. Definitely shout out where you guys are located.
So we are on the corner of Boone and Monroe. It's 1215 North Monroe. We're just right on the corner there by Taco Bell and REI. And if you can't see the building, we have Spin City just right there on the wall.
I love your painting.
You'll see it when you walk up. But yeah, so it's, right near downtown. It's hard to miss us. You'll see us right there. So it's.
And if I've never been there before, what's good about not being there ever before? Like my first time.
Like a first time coming in?
Yeah.
So if you're coming in and you've never had any experience, I will always tell you, so first of all, you need to bring some shoes, some tennis shoes, some water, a good sturdy pair. I try to wear pants just because I got some thick thighs. I don't want them to rub. And when you get there, we'll always help you set up on your bike, and make sure that you're positioned correctly so you're not uncomfortable. Well, you're going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be awkward, uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that you're on the bike properly, and we'll always make sure that you understand that this is your class. This is your pace. You can do what I'm doing. You can sit down. I always encourage people to just keep pedaling. And I like to joke around and say, we're in a committed relationship for 45 minutes. So you can't leave me. But I try to make it light. I try to make it fun. And so do all of our instructors. So
Cool.
for people coming that've never been, it's, it's not as intense. I mean, it is intense, but it's not as nerve-wracking as you think it will be. It's super fun, and I think everyone would love it.
Yeah. Oh, I do. I love it. And so your first class is free, right?
First class is free. That way you can decide whether or not, if you want to come back. And then we have other deals from there. So like if you don't want to commit to an unlimited pass, we have other little things for you to pick and choose from. So that way you can decide what works best for your life, what works best for your schedule. It's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. And we're always there to help you.
Yeah, you guys always have specials too, I see on social media. So good. Another reason to follow your page and your Instagram. Yeah. But I also know that when I first started going to your studio, I went in the back, because of course that's just kind of what we do. When something's new, we go in the back. But I gravitated each time I went closer and closer to the front. And I actually do like seeing the instructor. I like hearing and seeing, and nobody's watching you. Nobody cares. That's kind of the same thing when I go to the gym. I used to think that everybody's watching me and judging me, but the reality is people do not care what you're doing. So I had to learn that. It took me a little bit of time, but absolutely, if it's your first time, go on the back and just pedal and observe. And then I say just, move up closer. And like I said, it's so much better when you get up to the front. And I think one of the things I notice when I'm there is I don't think about the outside world. Like I leave the outside world when I walk through that door, and it's always dark and cool lights and so much fun stuff going on in there. But my life is on the outside of that door, and you've got my attention for 45 minutes. And then when I walk back out that door, I'm like ready to take on the world again. It's fun.
Yeah. And that's what I like to tell people in my class. I'm like, I want you to be happier than when you got here. So when you walk out my door, you're a better friend, you're a better mom, you're a better sister, girlfriend, wife, whatever you are. I want you to be better than when you walked in the door.
Right.
That's how I feel when I get done with spin. Like I feel like I can do whatever, I'm so like happy, and you just get on this level of euphoria. You're just, and I just want people to feel that happiness, to feel that.
Yeah.
Feel that way.
And it's a great calorie burn. I am telling you what, it burns up the calories. So if you are on a weight loss journey, I suggest doing that once a week. Go to spin once a week minimum. And then if you want to level it up, go twice a week. But for sure, throw that in there. And then that, prevents the plateaus as well. That a lot of people are afraid of, like, oh man, I'm gonna start working out and lose a little bit of weight and then I'll plateau. No, throw a spin in there and that will break that plateau, guaranteed.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And even if you keep going to spin and you find a plateau, like then turn up your resistance. Like you can make it just as hard as you want it or as easy as you want it. And so that's kind of a little fun thing to do, to play with that resistance knob.
And that's exactly what I told Jared the first time I went there. He was teaching. I'm pretty sure he taught the first class, and he asked why I was there, or what was the draw or something like that. I don't know how he worded it, but I was like, I'm here to lose a little bit more body fat because I was getting ready for a show. And, it does. I wasn't going to change my workout throughout the week, but I just wanted to throw that one extra in there and just shock the body and give it, like, oh, wow, what are you doing? Just burning that extra fat. So that's all it was, for, and it worked great. So I do recommend that for anybody that's kind of hit a plateau or, wanting to change things up. It's so much fun. You guys are great. It's so much fun. Yeah, you guys are incredible. And I'm just so excited for the future and being a part of events that you guys have. So, we can definitely collaborate anytime and brainstorm and do fun stuff. But, so I will put together all your links down below and tell people to come visit you.
Yay. Thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Krystal. And do you have anything else to add, or are you good?
I just want to say thank you, Catherine, for giving me this opportunity to speak. And I always enjoy seeing you. And I hope everyone checks out Spin City, and if you have any questions, to just get a hold of me.
Awesome. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, I'm gonna check out my schedule this week. Like I said, it's gonna open up, so I'm gonna come visit you. All right, Krystal, I will see you soon.
All right, thank you, Catherine.
All right, bye.